So when I hit 30, um, I was feeling quite unwell. I was in a very stressful job at that point in time. Um, and I was very run down, and I just felt it was the job. Like, I didn't think anything medically was happening to me at that point. Um, and I had gone on a holiday with a friend, noticed some things in my body, like the lower half of my body started swelling out of nowhere, which was quite scary, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was because of the trip that we went on. We were driving. It takes 2 days to drive from where we were in Melbourne to Queensland, which is another state in Australia. Um, so I just thought sitting down and doing all that stuff, that was the main cause. So I came back from holiday. The swelling was getting worse, so went and saw my doctor. As soon as my doctor saw me, they sent me for emergency tests and scans. And then I had to go back very early the next day. And I was called an ambulance because
Wow.
I was going into heart failure and kidney failure.
Goodness me.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that um, it was confronting. What I did notice during that time, my family was really struggling with that because doctors were talking to them as though I was near the end of life. Um, though they did keep that quite hidden from me until I recovered. Um, so I was trying to just keep very positive for them, but I was in hospital for about a month, um, trying to recover. My heart function went down to 21%, which in their terms is very serious. But in saying that, I felt fine, and I couldn't really grasp what was happening and how the severity of what was happening either. Because I was able to move around, I was able to walk, I could talk, I wasn't. I'd look around in the hospital ward that I was in, and firstly, I was the youngest person there, and the doctors kept reminding me that we don't have people your age in here experiencing this. But also the people that were in the unit that I was in, which was a cardiac unit, um, they were quite older, so they were facing, those near death experiences, and there would be lots of code greys coming through and things that was quite scary. And when I look back on it now, it's absolutely terrifying. But at the time, I think I just had to put myself in a state of mind where I wasn't ready to go. I was young. I still had a lot of living to do. And why it happened, doctors are still unsure. They seem to think it might have been a viral infection that I contracted, but there was no evidence of that after all their investigation. Um, so that was the first moment where my body told me to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and unfortunately, I didn't listen to it.
Mm.
I kept going.
Yeah.
um, so with the heart failure and the kidney failure, I did have to do what they call cardiac uh, rehabilitation. Um, so I did have to learn. I just had to learn how to live again, to be honest. Um, Simple things that we all take for granted, like brushing your hair or having a shower or just getting out of bed, would take all the energy that I had. I remember my first day out of hospital, and I was just, I showered because I wanted to get rid of all the sort of medical
Yeah.
and
Feel a bit
the
better.
that hospital smell because I was in there for so long. So I remember being in the shower and having to yell out to my parents because I had to move back home, um, to help me because I couldn't stand, and I would only had been in the shower for like 10 minutes. Um, and when I had come out, I had to get my family to help dry me and put clothes on me because I had no energy left. And I'd have to go to sleep. And then when I'd wake up, I went to brush my hair. I had to have another nap because I just lost everything, and I had to rebuild muscle in me as well. So that's where the cardiac rehab came in. So that was about 6 months of doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I said, that was my first knock on the door to stop, but I didn't, unfortunately.